Hi everyone, in this lesson we're going to learn how to talk about what time people finish work. Same as always, we will begin with the model dialogue, and in this dialogue the two people are talking about when they finish work. After the dialogue we will explain all the expressions in detail. When do you get off work? I usually get off at 6. How about you? I don't get off until 7. Okay, first to ask when people finish work, we can ask, when do you get off work? When do you get off work? In this question, first we ask when do you, and then use a verb to ask when the other person does the verb. The verb in this question is a phrasal verb, get off, and we use get off to talk about leaving work, finishing work. We can just say, when do you get off? But it's also common to ask, when do you get off work? Let's practice asking this question. When do you get off work? When do you get off work? Great job, well done. Next, to say when we get off work, we can say, I usually get off at 6. I usually get off at 6. So again, we use the phrasal verb get off, and then we use the preposition at to say the exact time we get off. The use of usually means that this is the time we get off on most days. Here are a few more example sentences. I usually get off at 7. I usually get off at 5:30. I usually get off at 7:45. Okay, so let's practice saying these sentences. I usually get off at 6. I usually get off at 7. I usually get off at 5:30. I usually get off at 7:45. Great effort, well done. Let's take a look at another way of saying when we get off work. I don't get off until 7. I don't get off until 7. In this sentence, we first use get off in its negative form, don't get off. And then we use until to indicate the time we get off work. Until is a preposition we use to say that we continue to do something to a particular time. So when we use don't get off with until, we're saying that we continue to work to 7 and then at that time we get off work. To give you another example, if we say I don't wake up until 8, it means that I continue to sleep and at 8 o'clock I wake up. Here are a few more example sentences. I don't get off until 9. I don't get off until 6:30. I don't get off until 5:15. Okay, so let's practice these sentences. I don't get off until 7. I don't get off until 9. I don't get off until 6:30. I don't get off until 5:15. Excellent job today, well done. Okay, so before we get into the final practice, let's listen to that dialogue again. When do you get off work? I usually get off at 6. How about you? I don't get off until 7. Now let's practice the whole dialogue. We will do 2 speaking practices so that you can practice both roles, and all the lines will be on the screen. So when it's your turn, please read the line and participate in the dialogue. When do you get off work? I don't get off until 7. I usually get off at 6. How about you? Excellent job today. Well done. Okay, so in this lesson, we learn how to talk about what time we get off work in English. The next lesson is a speaking drill lesson. So as always, do make sure to take that lesson for more speaking practice. See you soon again. Bye bye.